Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Is my voice is okay? Is it audible? So anyone
It is
feedback?
it
Okay,
is audible.
okay. Thank you. Right. So today's topic is inductance of three-phase symmetrical and asymmetrical lines with and without transposition. So the tick mark topics are already completed. On today's topic is the red mark one, which is inductance of three-phase symmetrical and asymmetrical lines with and without transposition. Right. So the topic learning outcomes are after completion of this topic, you can derive the expression for inductance of three-phase symmetrical as well as asymmetrical line, and you can also explain the what is mean by transposition of conductors and why it is used. Okay. And the course outcome, this topic covers under the course outcome one, which is developing the equations to calculate the transmission line parameters of a single phase and three-phase system. Okay, outcomes achieved here is you can calculate or solve the problems, inductance problems, which are related to three-phase symmetrical and asymmetrical lines, and you can also explain the importance of transposition of conductors. Okay, so let us see the inductance of three-phase lines with symmetrical spacing. Okay, let us consider a three-phase system which is having three conductors A, B, C. So each conductor radius, let us assume that it is R, and the distance between any two conductors, so it is D. Okay, so here we are saying that symmetrical spacing. Okay, you are calculating the inductance of a three-phase line with the symmetrical spacing. Symmetrical spacing is nothing but, so if you take any two conductors, the distance between the two conductor will be the same. As there are three phases A, B, C. If you consider the distance between A and B, it is a capital D, and B and C, it is also D, and C and A, it is also D. So this is when the conductors are placed like this, which are at equidistance. So then we say that this line is a symmetrical three-phase line. Okay, symmetrically spaced three-phase line, right? So let us assume that conductor A, B, and C are carrying the currents IA, IB, IC, and also these currents you have to assume that they are balanced. So when the currents are balanced, then you can say that IA plus IB plus IC is equal to 0. Now here to determine the inductance, first we have to develop the expressions for flux linkages, right? To determine the flux linkages, you have to first consider an external point P, right? So let us consider an external point P, so which is at a distance dPa. So this one is dPa. So dPa from A conductor, and point P is at a distance dPb from conductor B, and point P is at a distance dPc from conductor C. Okay, so dPa, dPb, and dPc, these are the distances from each conductor to point P. Okay, and distance between any two conductors is same, which is capital D. Right. Now you write the expression for flux linked by the conductor of phase A due to its own current IA. Right, you know the flux linkages expression, right? So now you consider the conductor A here and write the flux linked by conductor A due to current flowing through that conductor alone. So then when you write like that, this will be equal to, so this can be represented with lambda A PA. Okay, so which is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 current flowing through that conductor A ln dPa. So dPa is the distance from point P to conductor A. Okay, so you have to consider the flux up to the point P. So distance from point P to conductor A is dPa. So that dPa by radius of this conductor, radius r dash of this conductor. Okay, so flux linked by the conductor of phase A due to its own current IA up to the external point P is lambda A PA, which is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7, and current flowing through the conductor A is IA ln distance from conductor A to point P is dPa by r dash, which is a geometric mean radius you have to consider. Okay, So in a similar way, you have to write the expression for flux linked by the conductor of phase A alone. So due to the current IB, sorry, yeah, this is not phase A, phase B, sorry, phase B, not phase B, phase A only. So this is also phase A, this is also phase A only. Okay, so we are writing the flux linkages expression for phase A. Okay, so due to current flowing through that conductor alone, which is IA, and due to the current flowing through the current conductor B, which is IB, and due to current flowing through the conductor C, which is IC. So by with all the currents, you have to develop the flux linkages expression with respect to only conductor A, right? So if you consider only the current flowing through the conductor A, which is IA, so then flux linkage expression is this one, right? So when you write the flux linkage expression for conductor A again, due to the current flowing through the IB, so then lambda A PB is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7. Then now here the current is current flowing through conductor B, IB into ln DPB here, okay, which is distance from conductor B to point P, right? Right here. So distance from point P to conductor B is DPB. That distance by distance between these two conductors. Okay. So when you write the flux linkage expression for conductor A, so with respect to current flowing through conductor A alone, which is IA. So in such a case, this will be 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln distance from conductor A to point B, which is DPB, by geometric mean radius, which is R dash. Okay. Now the flux linked by the conductor not only depends upon the current flowing through the IA, that also depends upon IB, right? So when current flows through the conductor B, then flux will develop. That flux will also affect the conductor A flux. Okay. So then when you consider the current B, the flux linkages with respect to conductor A will be written as lambda A PB here. So which is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln. So distance from point B to point P to B, conductor B, which is DPB, by now distance between A and B you have to write, which is D, capital D. Okay. So in the similar way, you have to write the another flux linkage expression, flux linkages of conductor A due to the current flowing through conductor C, which is lambda A PC, let us you call it. So then this is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln. So now you are considering the conductor C. From conductor C to point P, what is the distance? This distance, DPC by distance between A and B you have to take, which is D. Okay. Here I am writing individually the flux linkages expression due to current flowing through IA, due to current flowing through IB, and due to current flowing through conductor C, which is IC. By considering individually, we have written the flux linkages expressions for conductor A. Okay. These three expressions, lambda A PA, lambda A PB, lambda A. So lambda A is this one. All are flux linkages with respect to conductor A alone. This one is due to current IA, this one is due to current IB, this one is due to current IC. So then the total flux linkages of phase A or phase conductor A can be written as sum of all these three, which is lambda A PA, lambda A PB, lambda A PC. So which can be written as 2 into 10 power minus 7. On all the three terms you are having 2 into 10 power minus 7 as common. So you take it outside, then 2 into 10 power minus 7 bracket, in bracket, which is IA into ln dPA by R dash, IB into ln dPB by capital D, IC ln dPC by D. Okay. Right. So the same previous expression only I've rewritten here. The same expression which is explained in previous slide. The final expression lambda A, which is sum of all the three fluxes. So now from this equation, you can write lambda A is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7. Here IA into ln dPA by R dash can be written as, so this can be written as IA into ln dPA plus IA into ln 1 by R dash. Can be written as log A plus log B. So from by using that formula, you can this expression as IA into ln 1 by R dash plus IA into ln dPA. So similarly, the second expression can be written as IB into ln 1 by capital D, IB into 1 by capital D plus IB into ln dPB. Okay. So third expression, this one can be written as IC into ln 1 by D, 1 by capital D, IC into ln 1 by capital D plus IC into ln PC. So right. So we are expanding this total one, and we are writing this equation. Okay. Now we were assumed that the current going to all the three phases will be balanced. So in such a case, IA plus IB plus IC is equal to 0. So from that expression, you can write IB plus ICI is equal to minus IA. Okay. In place of IA, you can write minus IB minus IC. So then you substitute here this minus IA, or this can be written as IA is equal to minus IB minus IC. Okay. So in place of IA, you substitute minus IB minus IC. So then now if we move the point P far away, so which is up to infinity, so then what happens to the distances dPA, dPB and this PC? Now here, this point P, we are moving to a far away distance, which is, let us call it as infinity. If you bring point P to up to the infinity point, so then that infinity point to conductor A distance and infinity point to conductor B distance, infinity point to conductor C distance, all will become approximately equal. So that means the dPA is approximately equal to dPB, okay, and which is approximately equal to dPC, right? When you bring the point P to up to infinity point, so then that infinity position to that position from all the conductors A to that infinity position and B to that infinity position, C to that infinity, all the distances will be approximately equal. Okay, dPA is equal to dPB is equal to dPC. Okay. Right. So when dPA, dPB and dPC, if all are same, so what may happen here? You expand this expression. In place of IA, if you substitute I minus IB ln dPA minus IC ln dPA, same dPA only. Okay. So in place of IA, if you write minus IB minus IC, so then this expression can be written as this one, which is minus IB ln dPA minus IC ln dPA. So now from these two, IB is common here, right? IB, when you take common, ln dPC minus ln dPA. So this can be written as ln dPC by dPA. Okay, dPC by dPA. So when you take these two expressions, and IC, if you take IC as common, so then plus IC ln dPC by dPA. Okay, so now as we know, when you move the point P to point P very far away, which is up to infinity, so then dPC is same as dPA and dP and is equal to dPC, right? These all distances PA, PB, PC will become equals, approximately equal. In such a case, this ratio dPC by dPA and dPB by dPA, right? First one, this one is dPB by dPA, dPC by dPA. So these will become equal to 1. So that means ln 1 is equal to 0. So that means this entire term will gets vanished here. Okay. So when you consider point P is very far away, so then these all total terms will vanish. Okay. So this total term will be equal to 0 only. So only you have this expression up to this, right? So now here, this one ln 1 by d and ln 1 by d, this is common in these two expressions. So then lambda A can be written as 2 into 10 power minus 7, this IA into ln 1 by r dash. So in these two, you take ln 1 by d as common, right? So then you can written as, when you take ln 1 by d as common here, so then what you will get, IB plus IC you will get, right? IB plus IC. So when IB plus IC is nothing but minus IA. Okay. So from these two expressions, you can write minus IA into ln 1 by d. Okay. So now here also you are having IA, here also you are having IA. You take it common, then 2 into 10 power minus 7 IA. So ln 1 by r dash minus ln 1 by d you will get, right? So now log A minus log B, which is log A by B. So then you can write final expression as this one, which is flux linkages of conductor A is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 IA ln D by r dash. Okay. So this is the flux linkages with respect to conductor A due to current flowing through all the phases. Okay. So now if you know the flux linkages, then you can determine the inductance. Inductance is the inductance of conductor A is equal to flux linkages of that conductor A by current flowing through that conductor, which is IA, right? So now if you write this expression in place of lambda A, so then this IA will get cancelled. So then final expression is LA is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln D by r dash. So the units for this is Henries per meter. Okay. So this is the inductance of conductor A. Okay. So now we were considered initially that all the conductors are at equidistance, which is capital D. So the inductance of each and every conductor will be same. So which is lambda A will be equal to lambda B, which is equal to lambda C. So this is about the inductance of a transmission, a three-phase transmission line when all the three conductors are placed symmetrically. Okay. Right. So next, determine the inductance of three-phase lines with the unsymmetrical spacing. Sorry here. So this is unsymmetrical spacing. Okay. Unsymmetrical spacing you have to consider now. So that means all distance between any two conductors is not same. Okay. So distance from A to B, this is taken as DAB. Distance from B to C is taken as DBC. Distance from C to A is taken as DCA. Right. So when your conductors are symmetrically spaced, these distances are same, which is represented with capital D. So unsymmetrically spacing is nothing but distance between any two conductors is not same. Okay. So now we have to consider the radius of each conductor is same as R, and distances between any two conductors here is not same. And from distance A to B it is DAB, from B to C it is DBC, and C to A it is DCA. So now you have to write the flux linkages expression with respect to conductor A, conductor B, and conductor C individually. Right. So now here I am writing directly here. The total flux linkages of conductor A can be written as 2 into 10 power minus 7 due to current flowing through this conductor IA, that IA ln 1 by R dash you have to take. Okay. So you know the expression, generalized expression for flux linkages of one conductor in a group of conductors. So that's that equation you can directly take here. Okay. Or you can derive like previously, right? Here in the previous case for symmetrical spacing line, we were consider a point P, right? So then we derived the flux linkages expression for conductor A, right? Here I am writing directly. Okay. So let us, I will show you now. If you see the flux linkage expression, this expression, when the conductors are placed symmetrically, right? So in such a case, this lambda, this is the flux linkage expression, and due to assumption of this symmetrical balanced circuit, IA, IB, and IC, IA plus IB plus IC is equal to 0. So when you consider this equation, this total term will get vanished here. How it is vanished, I was explained, right? You will be having these three terms only, right? 2 into 10 power minus 7, current flowing through the conductor A, ln 1 by that conductor's self geometric mean radius, the self distance, you can also say R dash plus IB ln 1 by distance from conductor B, which is capital D here, IC ln 1 by distance from conductor C to A. Okay, so this is distance from conductor A to B, or this is conductor A to C. As distances all are same, this will be taken as D and capital D when dealing with symmetrical lines, right? When dealing with unsymmetrical lines, these distances are not same. So you have to take DAB, DGAC as it is. Okay. See here. We are writing the flux linkages for conductor A, so which is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 due to current flowing through IA itself. If you take, so those flux linkages are IA into ln 1 by R dash. Okay, so you have to take the self distance, which is our geometric mean radius of that particular conductor, plus current flowing through IB. So when you consider the flux linkage linking with conductor A due to the current flowing through IB, so then IB ln 1 by distance from Bth conductor to conductor A, which is DAB. So the DAB here, plus current flowing through, or due to current flowing through IC, which is which this can be written as IC into ln 1 by distance from C to A, which is DCA. So this is the total flux linking with conductor A due to current flowing through all the three phases. Okay. In a similar way, for conductor B also you can write as lambda B is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7. For same conductor IB, this can be written as IB into ln 1 by R dash. So right, you are writing for flux linkages of conductor B, right? So then in such a case, IB into ln 1 by R dash you will get for self distance, plus due to conductor A, this will be IA into ln 1 by distance from B to A, which is DAB, plus when you consider the current flowing through IC, this can be IC into ln 1 by DBC. So similarly, you can write for conductor C flux linkages, which is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7, IC for self IC into ln 1 by R dash, plus current flowing through the IA, if you consider that the flux linkages will be IA into ln 1 by DCA. When you take the current flowing through conductor B, so then IB into ln 1 by conductor B to C distance. Okay, I think you can write these equations, right? So from the expression of current flux linkages of one conductor in a group of conductors. Okay, right. So now after finding the flux linkages, here you have to consider an operator which is A, right? Here A is nothing but e power j 120 degrees. Okay, you have to consider an exponent A which is e into j 120 degrees, or this can be written as 1 at an angle of 120, right? So when you expand this, then the value is this one. So minus 1 by 2 plus j root 3 by 2, right? So you have to assume this operator. So this operator value is 1 at an angle 120 degrees. So this can be written as e into j power 120 degrees, right? So this will be equal to, when you calculate this value, this will become minus 1 by 2 plus j root 3 by 2. So when you assume A, so then what about A square? What happens to A square? A square will become, A is 1 at an angle 120 degrees. So then A square will be 1 at an angle 240 degrees. Okay. So this can be written as E into J 240 degrees, right? So this value, if you calculate, you will get minus 1 by 2 plus j root 3 by 2, right? So now you got all these three. I think here you will get minus. Okay. So now if you sum 1 plus a square, so what you will get here? If you sum these two, a plus a square, so you will get minus 1. Okay. So this one and this one will get cancelled. Minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2. So minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is minus 1. That means a plus a square is equal to minus 1. So this can be written as this equation. 1 plus a square is equal to 0. Okay. So now here, after assuming one operator A, so then again you have to take another assumption, which is that the currents flowing through all the three phases will be balanced. Okay. So what do you mean by balanced currents? Balanced currents can be written as IA is equal to I into, so let us take it is I at an angle 0 degrees, right? IA into 0 degrees. So then IB can be written as, this will be same, magnitude of current will be the same, IB into, and phase angle will be minus 120 degrees. Okay. And IC is IA into minus 240 degrees. You know these equations. So balanced equations can be represented with IA is equal to I at an angle 0 degrees, IB is equal to I at an angle minus 120 degrees, IC is equal to I at an angle minus 240 degrees, right? So IA is, when you take IA as a reference, IA is equal to IA. So then IB, how you can write it? IB is can be written as magnitude for these all three phases will be same. This is IA only. This is IA, this is IA, this is IA only. So, but phase angle is different. For first phase it is 0 degrees. For next phase it is 120 degrees, minus 120 degrees. For sixth phase it is minus 240 degrees, right? So now this IB can be written as IA into 1 at an angle minus 120 degrees, right? So 1 at an angle minus 120 degrees can be written as A square, right? A square, A is 1 at an angle 120 degrees. So then A square is equal to 1 at an angle 240 degrees, right? When 1 at an angle 240 degrees is same as 1 at an angle minus 120 degrees. Okay. In place of angle minus 120 degree, 1 at an angle minus 120 degrees, you can take it as A square. So IB will become A square into IA. Now IC, if you take IC is equal to IA into minus 240 degrees, right? So this minus 240 degrees is same as plus 120 degrees. That means IA into plus 120 degrees also you can write. Okay. So 1 at an angle plus 120 degrees in nothing but operator A. So this can be written as IC is equal to A into IA. Okay. Is it clear? My here, if you are having any doubt, you raise, you ask me. Okay. I will repeat again. Here you have to first define one operator. Okay. Operator A here. So the operator value A is 1 at an angle 120 degrees. Okay. So 1 at an angle 120 degrees can be written as e power j 120 degrees also. Now if you calculate this value, what you will get is minus 1 by 2 plus j root 3 by 2. Okay. So then when you after the a is minus 1 by 2 plus j root 3 by 2. Now what about a square? So a square is nothing but a square. A is 1 at an angle 120 degrees. So then a square will be 1 at an angle 240 degrees you will get. Okay. So 1 at an angle 240 degrees. So this can be written as e power j 240 degrees. So which is equal to minus 1 by 2. Here you will get minus sign. Minus j root 3 by 2. Okay. So now you are going to sum these two, which is a plus a square. When you do a plus a square, this j root 3 by 2 minus j root 3 by 2 will get cancelled. So a plus a square will be equal to minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, which is minus 1. Right. So then finally you can write the expression as 1 plus a square is equal to 0. Okay. So now as we assume the currents are balanced. Okay. So what is a balanced system? Balanced system is nothing but all the three phases will be having same magnitude of current, right? And phase angle will be minus 20 degrees to each other, right? If you take conductor IA, you take reference as conductor current IA, so then this will be IA at an angle 0 degrees. Okay. So now if you write for conductor B, right? So conductor B also will be having same magnitude as that of conductor A, which is IA only, but phase angle is minus 120 degrees. Okay. So similarly, you can write current IC, which is equal to, so this as these are balanced, magnitudes are same. So that means the magnitude of IC also same as IA at an angle, and phase angle is minus 240 degrees. Okay. So now IA is equal to IA, same. IA 0 degrees is nothing but IA. So now if you write the IB value, which is equal to IA into 1 at an angle 120 degrees. So this 1 at an angle 120 degrees, this is can be written as, sorry, 1 minus, here you are having minus, right? So minus 120 degrees is nothing but 1 at an angle 240 degrees. Okay. Minus 120 can be written as 240 plus 240. Right. So this 1 at an angle 240 degrees is nothing but a square. Okay. A square can be written as 1 at an angle 240 degrees or 1 at an angle minus 120. A here is 1 at an angle 120 or 1 at an angle minus 240. You can write like this. Right. So for phase B, you are having magnitude is IA, phase angle is minus 120. Right, minus 120 here is nothing but a square. So this IB will become a square into IA, and IC will be having magnitude of current as IA, and the angle is minus 240 degrees. So this minus 240 degrees is nothing but operator A. So IC will be A into IA. So now you have to substitute IB and IC values in the previous expressions. Okay. Here in equation 1, in place of IB, you have to substitute A square into IA. Okay. In place of IC, you have to substitute, in place of IC, you have to substitute A into, in place of IB, you have to substitute A square into IA. A square into IA. So in all the terms, you are having IA as common. Okay, when you take IA as common, 2 into 10 power minus 7 IA ln 1 by r dash plus a square into ln 1 by dab plus a into ln 1 by dca you will get. Okay. Similarly for conductor, similarly for calculating flux linkages of conductor B, here in place of IA and IC, IA, IB, IC, you have to write those expressions again. IB is equal to a square into IA. Sorry, you have to write this IA, IB here also. This will be IB into once wait. How they can be written in previous thing. Correct. When you take first conductor, this can be written as lambda A into 2 into 10 power minus 7. When you take IA as common, you will get 1 ln 1 by r dash ln 1 a square into ln 1 by ab plus a into ln 1 by ca you will get. Okay. Right. After getting it, so you can directly write the inductance expression. Okay. Inductance is equal to lambda A by IA. Okay. So you are taking IA is common, so that IA will be bring to this one lambda A by IA. Then what is the final expression? 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln 1 by r dash plus ln 1 by a square into ln 1 by dab plus a into ln 1 by dca you will get. See here, when you write for inductance of conductor A, this will be equal to lambda A by IA. Right. So this lambda A by IA final expression is 2 into 10 power minus 7. So the first ln 1 by r dash plus a square you will get here. In place of IB, you are having IA into a square. Right. IA is you took it as common. So you will, the remaining term will be a square into ln 1 by dab plus. So in place of IC you are written a into IA, so that IA you take to common. So the remaining term is a into ln 1 by dca you will get. So similarly, you have to do it for other phases also. Okay. So then IB will become 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln 1 by r dash plus a into ln 1 by dab plus a square into ln 1 by dbc. Okay. You have to do some mathematics now. So from this expression, so IA can be written as 1 by a square into IB. Right. 1 by a square into IB. I see as this a into IA. So that values you have to substitute in the previous expression, this expression. Okay. Here, IB to calculate the LB, you need lambda B by IB. So you should not disturb IB here. You take it as it is. In place of IA, you can written as 1 by a square into IB. Okay. So IC it will be, so you know that IB is a square into IA, IC is a into IA only. Okay. So first from this expression, what is IA? IA will be equal to 1 by a square into IB. Okay. Right. Then what about IC? IC is equal to this value a into IA. So a into IA value is again 1 by a square into IB. 1 by a square into IB. So this will be 1a will get cancelled. 1 by a into IB you will get in place of IC here. Okay. So now that means IA and IC can be written in terms of IB. Okay, so then IC can be written as IB by A. IA can be written as 1 by A square into IB. So you know that A is 1 at an angle 120 degrees, or this can be written as 1 at an angle minus 240 degrees, right? So A square can be written as 1 at an angle 240 degrees, or this can be written as 1 at an angle minus 120 degrees. Okay, so when A is this one, what about 1 by A? So 1 by A is 1 by 1 at an angle 120 degrees. That can be written as 1 at an angle minus 120. 1 by A is 1 at an angle minus 120 degrees, right? So 1 at an angle 1 minus 120 is nothing but again A square. That means 1 by A can be written as A square. Okay. So now what about 1 by A square? So 1 by A is equal to A square. So then 1 by A square is equal to A. Okay. So in place of these terms, so in place of 1 by A square, you can read A. So A into IB ln 1 by DAB. In case of IC, you are having IB by A. So 1 by A can be written as A square into ln 1 by BC, right? So then like that, when you write for final expression, so that value will be 2 into 10 power minus 7, right? So you are writing the inductance expression, which is lambda B by IB. So that IB will be coming to this side, right? 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln 1 by R dash plus A into ln 1 by D AB here, where you got A here, right? Here you got A into ln 1 by DAB plus, so next term what you got here, you are getting A square into ln 1 by BC, 1 by DBC. Okay, so like this, from these equations itself, you have to develop the equations. Okay, from this IB is equal to A square into IA, IC into A into IA. Okay, from these expressions itself, again for the second case lambda B, so in lambda B expression, you have to keep IB as common, then in place of IA, IC, these two terms should be represented in terms of IB. So then you will get IB as common, and the final expression will be this one for inductance, so which is a ratio of lambda B by current flowing through the conductor, which is IB. So similarly you do for conductor C. So then what you will get finally is 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln 1 by R dash plus A square ln 1 by DCA plus A into ln 1 by DBC, right? You will get like this. Okay, what is done now? Okay, we are having only 7 minutes, right? I will also explain how you got this LC also. Okay, so LC is equal to lambda C by IC. Okay, you know this lambda C by IC. So go to the previous slide here. Here, sorry, third one, lambda C. So lambda C by IC you have to get. So that means in all these terms, you should have only IC. Okay, in place of IA, you should have the term IC. That means IA should be represented in terms of IC. IB also should be represented in terms of IC. Okay, then you can take IC as common in all these three terms. Then you can bring that IC to this side, so that this will become the ratio of lambda C by IC, which is equal to LC. Okay, so then how you can write? So same again, you take the same expressions. IB is equal to A square into IA. You know this expression. Okay, and also you know that IC is equal to A into I A. Okay, so these were derived before, right? From these values, you have to represent IA in terms of IC. That means from this expression, IA can be written as IC by A, right? So here, IA can be written as IC by A. Okay, so now IB. So from this expression, IB is equal to A square into IA, right? So then this can be modified as IB is equal to A square into, in place of IA, you can write IC by A. IC by A. So 1A will get cancelled. So this will, IB can be written as A into IC. Okay, so IB is same as I is equal to A into IC. Okay, now you got all the terms which are having the current IC. You take this IC is common, then you bring back to this side, so that you will get the inductance as lambda C by IC, which is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7. This IC got common, so the remaining term will be ln 1 by R dash plus 1 by A into ln 1 by DCA. So this 1 by A, so 1 by A is nothing but 1 by at an angle, 1 at an angle 120 degrees. 1 by 1 at an angle 120 degrees, which is equal to minus 120, 1 at an angle minus 120 degrees. Okay, so 1 at an angle minus 120 degrees is same as 1 at an angle 240 degrees. So which is equal to A square as per our assumption. So that means 1 by A can be written as A square. Okay, so here in place of 1 by A, you can written as A. Okay, so in place of this, you can write A. So A into IC. Okay, A or A square, 1 by, sorry, A square, this one, A square, sorry. So A square into IC. So 1 by A written as A square. So A square into IC. Okay, IB is here A into IC. Okay, the final expression for inductor LC is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln 1 by R dash plus A square into ln 1 by DCA plus A into ln 1 by DBC. So this is the final expression. So see here, the final expression once check. Right? So inductor LC is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 ln 1 by R dash. So the second term is plus A square into ln 1 by DCA, and for third term it is plus A ln 1 by TBC. So this is how we will get the inductances for all the three phases, right? In case of unsymmetrical lines, right? So now if you see the inductance of all these, so all these inductances depend upon operator A. So in each term you are having operator A. So operator A is what we are assuming here is a complex value. Okay, right? So now when you substitute, that means all the inductances are complex values only. So again, so if you substitute these values, A is equal to minus 1 by 2 plus J root 3 by 2, and in place of A square, it is minus 1 by 2 minus J root 3 by 2. If you substitute these values here, so this LA, LB and LC all are different. So that means all the three phase lines will be having different inductance, right? All the inductance for all the phases is not same. So now if these are different, what about the voltage drops, right? So voltage drops will be different in all the lines. So in such a case, at the receiving end, you will be having a different voltages in all the phases. That means, so generally at sending end, this side you will be having balanced supply, right? All the phases will be having equal voltage of magnitude. So but when coming to the receiving end, the voltage magnitudes in all three phases will become unequal, okay, which is not desirable, right? So you have to make the voltage at the receiving to be same in all the three phases. Okay, how you can do? So that can be done by the transposition of conductors. So that transposition of conductors we will explain in tomorrow's class. Okay, it is already time up. Okay, what is transposition? So why it is used? So this can be explained in next class. Okay, so these inductance, all three inductance will cause voltage drop in the lines to be different. So receiving end will be, you will not get the balanced voltage, you will get the unbalanced voltage. Okay, so the circuit will become unbalanced at the receiving end. So this is the disadvantage. So now you have to get the balanced system voltages. What you do? You will do the transposition. So what is the transposition? We will explain in next class. If you are having any doubts, you raise the questions. I think it is clear to everyone. Or if you are having any doubts, or you can text me in WhatsApp also, no problem. Okay, thank you. Okay, ma'am. We will continue in next class.